Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Monday evening episode of Ted's Booze Cellar with me, your most gracious host, Ted. This is the premiere show here on YouTube, where I review beer and try to give it an interesting artistic spin, while also trying to just be as honest as I can with you, my dear viewer. So, today we are going to be doing something a little bit different in the sense that we're just recording an episode on Monday. Usually my episodes, I do them like 3 a week, and I usually release them on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because weekends are usually the time when I drink anyway. But I did go out for the first time to a pub in about 5 months nearly on this Friday just gone by, so I decided to move forwards that first episode to this today. Anyway, so technically speaking you could say this week we are getting 4 episodes, but then again, in terms of this weekend, we're still getting the normal 3 amount. But I am reviewing another beer that I got from the Wine Barrel liquor store on Western Road in Hove, and this is the Wild Beer Company, and it is their Pale Ale Fresh. Now, I've reviewed a couple of drinks from the Wild Beer Company before, and generally they're pretty good. They have produced some drinks which I think have been generally pretty disappointing, but like, that was only in comparison to like my own expectations of what I was thinking they would be once I read the description. But generally speaking, they are a pretty good company in terms of the quality of their beer. And this I got for, I can't remember the exact price. It was somewhere in the region of $2.39 to $2.79 from the Wine Barrel on Western Road. And it says on the back, a beer originally brewed to discover hop varieties, now a settled recipe using German hops with a modern character and attitude. Celebrate the freshness, drink this pale ale today. So the impression I'm getting there is it's a contemporary sort of like Western pale ale brewed in accordance with like general customs and ideas of German beer brewing. So that could be quite interesting, because a lot of German beers are quite hazy and sweet, whereas like extra pale ales are usually quite juicy and have a bitter kick at the back of the throat. So I'm looking forward to trying that. That might be quite nice. It's got a bit of punch to it, so it's 5.5% alcohol volume, not the weakest, but not necessarily the strongest beer either. So if you're looking for a really light beer, this probably isn't the one for you, but it could be nice if you just want 1 or 2 maybe. And yeah, it says best served chilled, protect from heat. And actually, I just tried to remember, where were the Wild Beer Company based? Oh, they are from the UK. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, yeah, I've got to say I quite like the simplistic design of the can. Just yellow against black, very simple, very striking. 10 out of 10. Yeah, I quite like that. And the iconography of that mean-looking elk, I think it is pretty striking as well. So, yeah, let's give it a sniff and hopefully see if we have some good first impressions of this thing. Let's see. So, okay, so the overall smell is like of a general sort of like juicy, summery pale ale with this like sort of weird sort of like musky after smell that kind of reminds me of a German southern beer. Like, so there's a bit of like a haziness at the end there. So yeah, it smells pretty nice. But despite how striking those smells are, it's not too like pungent, so it's quite mild and it's very like smooth and refreshing smell. So yeah, I'd give that a 10 out of 10 as well. But before we try it, just quickly refresh ourselves and give ourselves a quick palate cleanser of water. And then on to the most important part. What does this taste like? So, bottoms up. This is pretty good. It kind of is what I was expecting, but it's just like toned down a little bit. So there is like a bitter kick at the back of your throat, like you would get with an extra juicy pale ale or something like an IPA. But it's like not too significant. So if that's something like the people at home really don't like about drinks like this, like juicy pale ales and craft ales, don't worry. There is a bit of a bitter kick at the back of the throat from the hops and the barley, but generally speaking, it's fairly mild, and it's only there to kind of sort of like complement the flavour at the end, at the finish. There's generally like a flavour of juiciness and just light freshness throughout, undercut with like this really interesting taste of like sort of sweet beer. Like, so it does, as I thought, taste kind of like a cross between a general average contemporary pale ale and a German like southern wheat beer. So it's got an interesting like mix of tastes, but like generally they are brewed together quite smoothly, and the flavour throughout is like very well balanced, and I can't really fault it too much, I don't think. What's interesting as well is like with like, you know, hop based like beers and ales, you usually get like that bitter kick at the back of your throat, whereas with this you get a little sizzle of it when you first sip it in. Sorry, I just poked myself nearly in the eye. And then you get a little bit of the back of the throat as well when you swallow it down. So that's quite interesting. It's like at the front and the end there, so that's quite interesting. I think generally this is a pretty good beer. I think the bitterness at the beginning, at the end is fine, but then like overall the bitterness is like very like smooth, but like it goes throughout the taste, and it starts at the beginning and then it continues on through to the finish, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like it could be undercut a bit more with a bit more of like a juicy pale ale taste, or a bit more like German beer sweetness, just to sort of like really balance the flavours out. And I feel like the texture at the end is great, but it's like it could just do with being a tiny bit smoother. Generally speaking though, this is like a near faultless pale ale, and like I am like despite the criticisms I've levied at it, those are genuine criticisms, but I've really struggled to levy them against it, because those are only the real major ones I can find, and even then they're not that major. So I will happily give this a 9 out of 10. This is really, really solid, and I think that despite my criticisms of previous drinks I've reviewed for the Wild Beer Company have done themselves a solid here. This is a really nice beer. So yeah, try this out if you guys are interested, and check out also the Wild Beer Company's website as well for other products they do. This isn't a promoted video or anything, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like this is a good one to check out, even if you're not necessarily a pale ale or beer drinker. But anyway, if you guys like this video, leave a like, share and subscribe, and if you have any ideas for the subjects of future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, leave your suggestions in the comments section below. And also, if you want to check out anything else I do online, I'll leave the links to my social medias and other YouTube channels in the video description below. But as always, have fun, stay safe, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys next time at the bar on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye bye for now.